In this video, we're going to check out Safari Pedal's brand new plugin, Ball Sub Machine, in collaboration with Leslie Brathwaite. But before we get started, my name is Ed, you're watching Stokes Sounds, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you want to support the channel, head over to our website, stokessounds.com. Now let's dive in. I'm super excited about this plugin. So this has just come out, and it's absolutely incredible. And if any of you who don't know who Leslie Brathwaite is, go and check him out. He is one of the best mixers of all time, and his credits are just ridiculous. And if you know Leslie and you know his music, one thing you'll know is that he knows how to make your 808s, your kicks, and all that low end and all that bass sub frequencies to really kind of bang and make it, make it like you feel like you're just feeling that kind of oomph when you're listening to his mixes. So when he comes out of a plugin like this and he tells you to use this and it's going to make your bass and your low end sound really good, it probably is going to make it sound really good. So let's actually try out this plugin on some 808s, some kicks, and some kind of sub basses, and let's just see, how this plugin works. But first up, if we just take a look at the features that this plugin has got, I've got it in default mode. You can see here, I've just pulled it up, and you've got three kind of main features. And one thing that Leslie likes is simplicity, and you can really tell in the way that Safari Pedals have, created this plugin. The look of it is very simple. It doesn't take, a lot of science to understand the plugin, and you're not spending, as what Leslie would say, 30 to 45 minutes trying to work something out. You just put it on, slap it on, and make things bang. And that's exactly kind of his thinking when he comes down to mixing. If we just take a look at the three main things that this plugin actually has on it, it's got the drive, it's got the frequency, and it's got the resonance, and then it's got the punch kind of trick that Leslie has done secretly within this plugin. It's probably some sort of pull tech move going on behind the scenes of the plugin, but if you want something to sound punchy, probably just turn it on and it will sound punchy. But we'll put that to action and see what it actually does. But as you can see here, I've got 808, and I had some previous plugins on here which I've actually taken off. So we are just using the Ball Sub Machine, and we're just playing around and just seeing, what comes from this plugin. So if we just press play, we'll hear the 808. So that's just in default mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it in default, and then I'm going to bypass it, and you'll hear what this kind of plugin is doing just in the default mode without touching anything. So it's adding some sub. Now let's just play around with the actual features that this plugin has in itself, play around with the frequency, the drive, and the resonance, and just kind of figure out basically how to use it. First time using this, so you guys are using this with me, so let's just try it. That is incredible. You can really tell, the drive button, you can see here, I was using lo-fi before. This time, I've got all of these plugins that I would use multiple plugins on, and I'm just using it within one plugin. And that is something that's really cool because it just makes everything simple. I don't have to pull up 10 different plugins to use it. I can just get an 808 or some bass or a kick, pull this plugin up, and just play around with three features on this plugin, and then got a good bass sound. I mean, that is basically how simple it is. Again, let's just keep playing around. When I put that punch in, I could really feel that kind of clicky subby bit that was making it more kind of pronounced in the actual 808 itself was really, really cool. So that's one option we could use in it. But let's just play around with the frequencies and just see what we're getting. Now, what's really cool that Safari pedals do is they add a blend mode. So it's a bit like kind of, I guess, doing kind of parallel. Again, within the plugin, I don't have to set up, another send and blend it in on the return and all of that sort of stuff. I can just use the blend mode here. Now, at the moment, it's on 50, but, let's try and, increase it and kind of bring it back and just see kind of where, it fits in and gets that kind of perfect, I guess, blend, we would call it. That is doing so much to that 808. I mean, it's, making it more kind of thick, it's making it more punchy. You can also hear it. And, there's always the old school trick of duplicating the 808, kind of taking out the low end, making it a bit kind of phony, distorting it, and then blending it back in. But the great thing about this is with the drive, you can just play around with the drive. So if you want it to cut through on smaller systems, you can just bring the drive up. And again, just bring it to taste. I'm just messing around here. These settings may not be what you do, but I'm just playing around with this in particular 808 and just finding my way around the plugin and just kind of understanding what is this plugin actually doing. And so far, I'm absolutely loving this. Let's just play around with the drive again and just keep going until it feels, even better. See there, we're really bringing that kind of thump, that kick out of the 808. So if you didn't have a kick with the 808 in the song, you could actually really kind of add more of a kick sound to the 808 to have it feel like it's got a bit more energy and a bit more punchy in the mix. Now the resonance is kind of making that kind of bell shape kind of a bit tighter on the frequency. So you can see here, I've got it around 87, which is actually quite high for an 808. And I'm kind of 65% kind of on that curve, kind of poking it around that frequency to emphasize that 87 hertz. But again, you can pull it back and make it so it's a bit more kind of rounder instead of as pointy, if that, makes sense. Let's try some of the presets. Let's go with the first one, 808 Fire. Let's bypass it. Subtle, let's keep going. Crazy. This plugin can do so much. Let's try it on something else. Let's try it on a synth bass, a log drum kind of thing, so like a low end synthy style bass. Let's try it on that. Let's just loop it. You can hear that is really bringing out that kind of harmonic of that and just kind of bringing it forward without it sounding harsh, without it sounding muddy. It's kind of lifting it up in like a magical way. That's really, really cool, that. That's amazing. If we listen to the before and after, it's like, night and day. It's just crazy. that sub really comes out again in like a nice musical way. You know, I'm just playing around. I've got the oversampling on just for the best kind of quality as possible. And, you know, again, I've got the blend at 71%, but these settings are just settings that I'm just enjoying right at this moment while shooting this video. You know, these settings will change from time to time, but, you know, just playing around with the plugin, and, you know, there's not really much to it. You know, let's just put this plugin on a kick. We've got a kick up here. You can see I've got some older plugins that have been on. Let's try this. You can tell that's doing a lot. Let's just bring down the blend a little bit because you don't want to overkill it. Let's just bypass it and have it on, and we'll hear what the difference is. That is really nice. Again, playing around, just seeing what works. Let's just try adding some punch onto this kick and see what that does to the kick. Now, I might be wrong. I don't know exactly what's going on behind that plugin, but that kind of punch is giving me kind of a lift at 60 hertz kind of thing. I know we've got the frequency here at 40, but when I put that punch on, it just seems like around 60 it's kind of giving me that little kind of push, which is kind of the thump of the kick. So I think that might be what's going on there. But again, don't take my word because I don't know exactly what's going on behind the plugin, but honestly, this plugin is crazy. You know, as I said before in the video earlier, I just like the fact it's just one plugin that I can do all of that on, and you know, I can literally control my low end, I can change the way my low end is, and I can change, you know, the frequency spectrum of my low end between the 808s and the kicks, all just with one plugin. And I think that that is absolutely amazing. So Leslie, that is an incredible job, and Safari Pedals, of how you have done that plugin, and I will be using it all the time. Now let's try some presets on this plugin for the kick. We already did some presets on the bass. Let's just try some. We've got one here. And that's it. That is the Ball Submachine by Safari Pedals in collaboration with Leslie Brathwaite. Honestly, this plugin is a must-have. It's a go-to in my toolkit. I will leave a link in the description below for all of their other plugins as well as this plugin. Definitely go and check it out. And if you guys have got any questions regarding this plugin or any other plugins or anything technical regarding mixing, then you know I love all of that stuff. So definitely leave your questions in the comments below and I'll get back to all of you, and I'll see you all again next week for another video.